Hey everybody, how's it going? Oh, it's been a long time no see. But I've had quite a week actually. So, I know, some of you didn't have many questions, but if you do, please, now is the time because it was a week. I'd had like a bit of a health scare, but everything turned out fine. That God, they actually like at one point thought I had ALS, which was crazy, right? And all sorts of heart ailments and stuff like that. Anyway, everything turned out fine. Um, so I'm just kind of like getting back into the swing of things here. Um, like I said, I know you guys did really well on the Megalomania assignment. So I'm looking forward to, and oh, I'm sorry, your feature assignment. So I'm looking forward to the rewrites on that, which will be due on Monday. I think we've pretty much covered that from end to end. So I don't know if there's really any need to do much more there. Just, there's videos, there's, examples, everything that's out there. So let's just try to finish strongly here. As I described before, the last assignments actually, again, do count more than the first. So now with the major assignment, again, this is the week I really should be starting to see now the drafts. Again, not required, but it's really, again, you're not getting a rewrite on this, and this is going to count 4 times what the typical assignment counted. So, let's get going here and start showing me some drafts. I've seen one. I know it's still a little bit early, probably, to show a draft, but I want to give you an example of actually a draft that I thought was working well. I've actually done some, and Richard, if you're paying attention, I actually give away some things here. So, but anyway, I actually thought that this was actually in pretty good shape. Okay, and again, going with a straight lead here. New Jersey residents are unhappy going to the holidays as supply chain issues cause food and supply shortages. So there you go, the straight, active voice sentence. Jersey residents are unhappy. I mean, that could be said without even like talking to people, right? People are unhappy about like that they're still seeing like shelves are empty in a lot of places and stuff like that, and like inflation is still there. So I went to try to get buy milk today, nothing. So, but the idea of actually reporting on it and trying to get some sort of a local flavor. That's the whole idea of like doing these kinds of stories, is trying to like basically show how that basically talk to people about how this is not just an issue, but how it actually impacts people. So Richard did a pretty good job here. I mean, I think it still needs some cleaning up to do, but he did a pretty good job here, basically just like bring it down to that granular level of how it impacts people, not just the consumer, but also the store employee who's been scrambling to get things back on the shelves. So I have here, I mean, I basically have like transitions. Okay, there's transitions here. So we break it down into segments, essentially like about of impacts, and and that goes into the who, what, how, why, where, when. Okay, more who, what, where, and I guess you could say how, right? So the first point that's made in the first transition says some New Jersey residents are worried about the impact on the holidays. So, actually that talks about when. When and where. So, so we actually bring us to an example, an anecdote here. Maria Rose, 45, mother of 3, was excited for a huge family dinner for Thanksgiving, preparing the turkey. Rose was at a Target picking up ingredients, asking an employee to check inventory for more spices. She replied, "We've been out of that." I guess the employee replied, "We have been out of that for about a month now." Rose was shocked that they were out, and asked, again, needs some cleaning up to do, and I told Richard that, and asked for another spice that would work as a substitute. But to see, this is good granular detail here. There's good anecdotal stuff. This actually brings us into the supermarket to like see exactly how this is being impacted. The employee scanned the barcode and replied, I think you mean to say, again, we have been out of that for a month now. In awe, Rose said, "Oh no, how I make my grandmother's special turkey." Exercising every option, Rose drove to Walmart. He's actually bringing, and that's the great thing about the fact that you have now 800 words, 800 1,100 words for this assignment, is that you have the liberty now actually to stretch out these anecdotes so you can actually take people on like a little journey, so so Rose drove to Walmart. They were sold out there too. Analyzing the other available options, she grabbed what was there and made it the turkey. Rose said, "I was worried we wouldn't even have a turkey at all after this fiasco. Ordinary food is out of shock." These 2 sentences. Then we bring in like another person who's actually like dealing with a similar situation with Walmart and, seeing there's minimal items for display. Now we shift to a second point. The store is just like the customers are scrambling to make things right. So now we shift the who part of this to the employees. Okay. And again, because we have the luxury of more words here, we can stretch out these. This actually really kind of combines more than anything what we did earlier on the semester, just basically the basic structure of a story with the lead and the transitions and the anecdotes, but also adds a bit of the feature story element of what we're doing here. And that is we're able to stretch out these anecdotes and bring out description, and we have the liberty to do that and the liberty to use that description and that relatable material, observation material as something that actually can be, basically, just like with the feature story, it basically can help really kind of connect the people. Okay. So Amber Mayfield, Walmart manager, has been on the phone and sending emails for the last few months, battling stock issues as well as trying her best to ensure the toys and presents are there for the upcoming holidays. The holidays are the busiest and most profitable time for Walmart. That's a pretty obvious statement. Mayfield described the issues throughout the globe due to COVID have devastated manufacturers and warehouses. He really needs to understand that this is a new sentence here. This translated the issues for Walmart. I think he actually meant to put this into quotes. So there's a myself in there. So some workers say they're worried about not being able to do their jobs correctly because of supply chain. So actually now we're staying on like the who, but now we're kind of extending the like impact, the like how impact of that. Okay. So it's not just like them scrambling on what they're doing, but also like how that's impacting them. So that we're not be able to do their jobs correctly because of supply chain issues. Darrell Randall, 55, a brick mason, faces issues daily as needed. Safety equipment is unavailable due to COVID and supply chain issues. Randall uses N95 face masks, rubber gloves, face mask. Oh, you said that already. And assortment materials also restricted by the COVID pandemic. Randall stated the price of gloves and face masks more than tripled because of COVID, and I was unable to purchase. He really needs to put like Randall said at the end of these quotes, because I always tell people that it's much better to put an attribution at the end of a quote because you might have a name that you just don't read or understand or whatever. And you really want to kind of get to the action of what's happening. Okay. Quote. All right. So unable to get the disposable items, Randall resorts to the more expensive reusable safety gear, but noted that finding it available was also an issue. Okay, so now we actually go into the where. So where in New Jersey is this an issue? So at Rutgers University and nearby, students are starting to see sticker shock. Old metaphor there. Claudia Progeria, this is why I say it's good to put names at the end of a quote because I can't pronounce that. Progeria, Rutgers seniors saw an increase in the price of goods near campus as well. This is like a really long quote. He really needs to turn more of this into a, paraphrase that because people aren't going to read quotes this long. I'll probably like do just this. Oops. You would normally go out on the weekends to fill goods on toilet. This way you can also save on words too. Fill up on goods like toiletries, toothpaste, gloves, masks, and I think he needs a but. He's got almost like a run-on sentence here. And by paraphrasing, we can make this easier to read. This was happening more and more as items were unavailable on the shelves for weeks. And then, by paraphrasing, you're able to do things like turn that into 2 sentences, which it should need to be done anyway. So, okay, now we got German. Can you say that? German, Valine, I'm sorry, Mavis Tire Manager has been facing lines of customers and delays tires. Puts the customers to orders on who holds. I got like a really long quote here. I think at the end he kind of strayed away a bit from the paraphrasing when he need to. But overall, it's a good story. I'd say it's probably around a B+ right now because he's got to clean this up a bit. So, but that's basically it. It's just basically kind of doing the kind of story we've been doing, just a longer story and one that allows for more detail. And that story right now is about 880 words. So, all right. So it just kind of cuts it over the line. All right. So that's really it. Actually, it didn't have a lot to talk about today. No new lessons to introduce because we only have a week left. But please get those, rough drafts to me so I can look at them and I will guide you and help you along with those and, and basically, give you some sort of guidance and go in the right direction like I'm doing with Richard. All right. All right, guys. Thanks very much. And let me know if you need anything. Okay. I'll see you.